Yo, what is up guys? My name is Ben and welcome to a marine biologist play Subnautica Below Zero. In this video we're going to be launching into Subnautica Below Zero on a normal survival playthrough. I'm going to walk you through it from start to finish. I've already played the game, but this is a brand new playthrough. I'm going to be showing you how to not die, and I'm going to be showing you what to do in the beginning of the game and all throughout. While I'm playing, I'll describe what I can see and explain it. That's in terms of marine life and how realistic it is and how it compares to real ecosystems here on Earth. I'm also going to be doing a bunch of these videos. This is a big game with a lot of biomes to and analyse, and I'm also going to be doing a video on how to build an epic utilitarian base. So you definitely want to subscribe with notifications so you don't miss out on those videos. Let's get right into this. So we're launching here. Oh, if you look in the little hologram, this pod that she's in is connected to the lifeboat. And then it becomes disconnected. Okay, so here we are, out on the ice. There we go, enjoy our stay. So it's bloody freezing, so we're going to want to find some shelter, sharpish. If we look in the bottom left hand corner, we can see that, just collect one flag, don't collect all the flags. We can see that there's a thermometer, hunger, thirst, health, oxygen. You can see that the temperature on it is going down really fast. If it hits 0, we will die of hypothermia. So collect all the resources that you can, and once you've got everything, just get the water and the food. Once you've got everything, just we'll scarper off a shelter. Alright, so just quickly, you notice here that there's plants growing out of the snow. This isn't very realistic. You wouldn't find this in reality, and the reason is because in a polar environment where it's really cold, what happens is there's no liquid or gaseous water available to any plants. It's all frozen, it's all locked up in ice, so there's no water available for photosynthesis or transpiration. So most of the plant life that you find in a region like this would actually be microscopic in the water, for example growing on a thin ice shelf where the light can penetrate through the ice. And what I noticed as well, here you see this plant that follows you is warming us up. Look, the temperature's gone up to 100. This is pretty cool. So that's a real process, something alive producing heat. It's called thermogenesis. You and I are doing that right now as we burn glucose in our muscles, which keeps us warm. There isn't any plants that do it exactly like this, but there is an example that I can think of. So the Titan alum plant, it uses its mitochondria to produce heat to spread the stench of rotting flesh farther and wider than it can without producing heat. And the reason it does this is to attract flies to it. So the flies will search the plant for a carcass which isn't there, and then while they do that they'll pick up pollen and they'll help pollinate the plant, which is just mental. Okay, if we have a quick look at this plant, you can see there's these veins in the petals that are red hot like a neon. If I get too close to it, see it burns, does damage there. You wouldn't really ever get this in reality, like it's not realistic. There's a couple of reasons. One being, besides like the engineering, biologically speaking, of an animal producing enough heat to burn you, which there is none that I know of. At these kind of temperatures, a complex organism like this, the important molecules in there like DNA and proteins break down, and that usually results in death, so you wouldn't really see it. Right, let's get in the water. I mean, it is called Subnautica and not Terrestria after all. Right. Very different from the first game, but in a good way, I think. So it's the same planet, but different region. So literally, as you go in to the water, just hit the surface, collect all the minerals, collect yourself some fish. It's going to be important. We're going to need them.
Oxygen.
Oh yeah, we're going to run out of oxygen real fast. So don't press L2 while you're holding the fish. Don't want to eat it while it's still raw. It's bad for you. Oh yeah, those ones are super important, the bladderfish.
New creature discovered.
So bladderfish are important for water in Subnautica, and you will go through water a lot quicker than you go through food. So it's probably why bladderfish are the easiest to catch. You know, they're not that nutritious to eat, but they're very nutritious to drink. Right, you want to head in the direction of the drop pod. Here, little bladderfish. Alright, we'll get them in a bit. I want some copper, titanium, of which there is a lot. Where is it? 70 meters. Oh, look, a peeper. So we'll catch that.
New creature discovered.
So we're going to talk about
Oxygen.
the fish briefly. The fish design in the game is really original. There's no creature exactly like any of these fish, you know. Look at the size of the eyeball. There are creatures that have big eyes, you know, an eye as big as this on such a small organism. It could see far off into the distance for any potential predators. There isn't that any predators really in this region. Well, for the fish, the penguins are, but for us, nothing. So yeah, that would be quite good. They're pretty speedy, the old peepers. But yeah, no like distinct fins. Just these kind of like antennae on the dorsal and anal sides. Okay, we're going to come in here. So you're going to see a load of new recipes, water, just convert all of your bladderfish into water, or maybe like all bar one or something. I'm going to cook my peeper and my hoopfish. Ooh. I think there's been an update because before resources was at the top. It makes no difference really. Battery. Right, I'm going to build the scanner. It's probably one of the most important bits of equipment in the game. Titanium and fibre mesh. Alright, we're going to want to feed ourselves.
Well, Sam, I guess I might as well gather some tools and resources before starting the search.
I guess I might as well gather some
Radio
tools and
towers
resources
easy to
before
spot as
starting
low
the search.
set.
It's like radio towers, it's easy to spot as low set.
Alright, put most of the resources back in there so you've got an empty inventory, and that way we can fill it up with resources that we find knocking about.
Should be able to use this.
Just go ahead and smash everything. We're gonna need it. You'll see like different styles of outcrops. So you've got limestone that contains copper. If we go into these kind of telltale caves with the corals, they've got those electrolytic plants in. A note on those plants, I mean,
Oxygen.
all organisms,
Oxygen.
like complex organisms like us, we have electrolytes. We use them for our neurons, but we don't really find electrolytic plants. It's quite unusual. I'm going to fact check that. I'll add it in post if there is some electrolytic plants or electric plants out there, but nothing that I know of. Just gather up as many as you can. Like, we're going to need a lot of batteries for the various things that we're going to build.
Oxygen. Oxygen.
So watch this, watch this. I'm going to scan the penguin. Yeah. Scan the penguin. They are different things. And we can pick it up. It's like super cute. But when we pick it up, look, the penguins will come after you. But then if you get in the water, then they'll leave you alone. But yeah, they'll think you're like stealing their babies, which we kind of are, which is a bit mean. But I mean, you know, they're just like penguins. Oh look, it is so cute. Okay, let's not get too distracted. You can scan these chunks as I'm doing here, and then it opens up a page for you to read about it, where you can find it, stuff like that. You can scan all the
Oxygen.
fish. I run out of oxygen super fast in the beginning of the game. We'll have to get the tank, and it goes up to like 75 seconds, 70 seconds. Oh yeah, whenever you see these, just go ahead and scan them like a fragment. Scan everything. Just in the beginning of the game, just hold the scanner, and if it pops up that you can scan it, scan it.
Oxygen.
So I believe I saw a peeper there, so let's scan that. Oh, pink narrowleaf, no. Arctic peeper. Yeah. You're mine, you're going to be dinner. So check this out. This thing, scaly moor anemone. So on a real anemone that we have here, these bright blue things that we see here, they would be tentacles with nematocysts, which is like a sting cell. They have a barb and a trigger. When you touch it, like this one in the game, it doesn't do anything. But one on here, on Earth, if you touch it, what happens is the barb ejects, it everts from its casing at like 0.1 of a second. It's one of the fastest biological cellular processes that happens. It is mad. So there are some anemones on Earth, like a bubble tip anemone, where the nematocysts won't hurt you, and then there's some like the hellfire anemone that have a venom in them, which is very painful. I can fortunately say I've never been stung by anything too nasty.
Oxygen.
Just a few bubble tips here and there in the aquarium industry. So these corals right here, they are, when you get the knife you can harvest them, but they're just for cosmetic. You can grow them in a coral bed just to make your base look pretty. But we like having a pretty base, or I like having a pretty base anyway.
Oxygen.
Damn it. Okay, so we're gonna go.
Oxygen.
I'm gonna fill up my inventory, and then we'll go back to the thing and we'll make the bladder device, the inflation device, because that's really handy for just popping back up to the surface. Oh yeah, we need to go find some kelp, some creep vine, as it's called in the game. 4546B's version of kelp. So in reality, kelp is super biodiverse. It's home to a lot of creatures, otters, urchins, fish, just to name a few, many species of fish.
Oxygen.
Okay, so we want some of that red stuff right there. If I can not drown. Okay, I have enough room for 2 chunks of it as well. Alright, so we've got a few spaces left. Probably look for the galena outcrops. Lead in below zero is quite a rare resource, because half of the galena outcrops give you bloody titanium, just like all the other outcrops, so it's really a pain to get a hold of lead. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. Kind of like a shiny, like this. Looks exactly like that. And it says chance of lead. Right, inventory full. Okay, we'll go back now. I'm looking at someone. As I've got so much. Okay, it was just titanium anyway.
Oxygen.
I love how you can open the door. All the water stays on the outside, and then you get to come on the inside.
This biome seems to have an abundance of minerals I can use for tools and upgrades. I didn't want another situation like Biologist 5. When Xenoworks dropped me off, there were barely any resources. I survived off the land for 3 months with just a knife, my lucky PDA, and some rope. I am still kind of proud of that, though.
I am still kind of proud of that, though.
Alright, it's going to make ourselves some fins so we can swim faster. And then... Gonna make myself a flashlight with the glass. And get ourselves some more silicone rubber while we're at it as well. And a storage device, so you can't store too many things. Okay, so living things, if you keep them on you, they won't die. However, if you put them in the storage, eventually they'll die, so... not a great idea to store them. Alright, so this, if you just... put that there, you can dump whatever in there. So just a bit extra, because that's not that much. I actually forgot to build that. Alright, so this is super useful for ascending.
If you are tired of hearing the word oxygen,
Yes, I'm telling
the
you
air
now.
bladder provides a significant upward thrust to help you get to air faster. help you get to air faster.
Okie doke. Right, now we want to be looking for fragments and minerals. Alright, so we've already been there. I know what we want to find. There's something I didn't make, the knife. Definitely want to build the knife. Okay, the last bit of that. Go here, go there, and build the knife. Get the knife, find some kelp over here, some creep vine. And we're going to hack and slash away. Alright, so we're going to need 2 creep vine samples for 1 fibre mesh. And then while we're here, we're going to grab some more seeds and we'll dump them in.
Oxygen.
Oh yeah, watch this.
Oxygen. Supply cache nearby. Supply cache nearby.
Oh yeah, watch out for that sea monkey because it will nick our scanner. Alright, so apparently there's an Alterra supply cache nearby. Let's find it.
Oxygen.
Oh yeah, these are super useful.
Oxygen.
Obviously for replenishing our oxygen. Right, the supply cache is around here somewhere. Oh, it's just quartz. I can't remember where exactly.
Oxygen.
So yeah, so if we look around here, there's not that much. Go down here, lovely 19-degree tropical coral reef and kelp forest. Oh yeah, so I switched to my boomerang fish just so it wouldn't nick it.
Oxygen.
But I think it's like inevitable to some extent. Okay, definitely have 2 out of 3 of these sea glide fragments. Oh yeah, so I have the capacity to make the sea glide now. There's a nick there. Okay, so with this stuff, we can make the sea glide.
Oxygen.
We can make the sea glide and the air tank. Right. Swim so slow. I want to talk about the boomerang. Okay, so the boomerang fish, very interesting. See with this eye placement, like it wouldn't swim like vertically like this, it would swim horizontally so that it could see over itself what's in front of it.
Oxygen.
Like with that eye placement, it would only be able to see on one side and not the other, so a predator could approach and eat it, which it probably would. There is actually a fish similar in like shape. It's called a batfish. I'll put it up here now. Very interesting, very cool fish. Alright, so make some fibre mesh. I'll make some oil, some lubricant. Go here, get that battery I made earlier. Put this stuff in there. Copper wire. I think I'll need that. Okay. Battery, lubricant, copper wire, and you can pin a recipe so then it says what you need, how much of it you need, and how much of it you have, which is really handy.
The Sea Glide is
So
a
I'm going to unpin it.
transportation device used for high-speed freediving. Contains a built-in
Gonna
guide
build
High-speed freediving.
the standard O2 tank.
additional blueprints to your data bank.
Adding additional blueprints
The
to your
standard
data
oxygen
bank.
tank can be upgraded for deluxe and
The standard
VIP
oxygen
breathing.
tank can be upgraded for deluxe and VIP breathing.
Right, I'm going to cook this boomerang. It's going to be dinner now. Alright, CPU chip. Excuse me. Okay, so while we're here, we want to equip that. So yeah, the map is kind of irritating, so we turn the map off. It can be kind of useful, but I just find it mostly irritating. So it's got a light. Alright, so get some air, come back down, face the, there we go, emergency supply cache. We want to slowly head in this direction. If you see more fragments, scan them, they'll give you titanium, and you just can't have too much titanium, so scan, scan, scan. No, it's not going to be a big problem or a big deal. I'm pretty sure there's like a sea monkey cave here. Yeah, there we go. So we come down here. Mobile vehicle bay fragment, sea monkey nest. These things are good to scan. Got the oxygen plant. Now it would be wicked if there was actual oxygen plants here on Earth. Then we could breathe somewhat easier. Alright, there's nothing else left in there. All of this stuff will come in handy. If your inventory does just get filled up with titanium, you can just drop it. You can always come and pick it up later if you can remember where it is.
Warning, 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Warning, 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Alright, I won't go exploring too deep into this cave. I wouldn't recommend it with this low oxygen tank. But down here to 80 meters is fine. What we've got? We've got over a minute left, so we can scan some of these things. Radiant sieve coral. You can get trees. You can get semi underwater trees. You don't get fully marine trees like that. So a forest that's half in the sea and half out is called a mangrove, and
30 seconds of oxygen
those
remaining.
are usually connected
30 seconds
to
of
reefs.
oxygen remaining.
Reefs and mangroves with seagrass beds. Alright, so we can hit that again. Those refresh every 30 seconds as well, so that's really handy. And then they give you 30 seconds of oxygen, so if you stay in range of it, you could in theory stay in the same place indefinitely.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
But warning, I do say in theory,
30
you
seconds
have to
of
take that
oxygen
with a
remaining.
pinch of salt. Grab these creature eggs, we can put them in alien containment later. They will be useful.
Oxygen.
My storage is getting quite full.
Oxygen.
So yeah, keep a sharp eye on your oxygen levels. Don't let them drop. Oh yeah, so look, we've got a light stick here. You can scan that, and you can manufacture that later. So if we go over here, this is marked. We've got a PDA.
I'm telling you, Sammy, you see some weird things when you spend
I'm
half your
telling
day
you,
in a
Sammy,
sea truck.
you see some
More
weird things
vandalism?
when you spend
Was
half
it the
your
sea
day in
monkeys
a
again?
I don't
More
think so.
vandalism?
I
Was it
can't
the sea
shake the
monkeys
feeling
again?
this planet
I
is
don't think
cursed.
so. I can't shake
There's
the
no
feeling
such
this
thing as a
planet is
curse.
cursed.
Yeah, you're probably right.
There's no such thing
That's
as a
nothing.
curse.
You wouldn't want to hear about it
probably
anyway.
right.
Just a
That's
huge
nothing.
creature
You wouldn't
frozen
want
in
to hear
ice.
about it anyway.
What? Where?
Huge
In a
creature
cave,
frozen in
not
ice.
far from your lab.
What?
And here's the
Where?
extra weird
In a
part.
cave.
As soon as I
Not far
called
from your
it
lab.
in,
And
they
here's
closed
the
off
extra
the
weird
area.
As
Don't
soon
want
as I
anyone
called it
going
in,
in there.
they closed off the area.
Sammy, I'm no
They don't want
biologist,
anyone going
but I
in
think
there.
there was something wrong with it.
Sammy, I'm no
Its skin
biologist.
just seemed
But I
off.
think there was something
Alien.
wrong with it.
An
Its skin
alien
just seemed
on
off.
planet 4546b.
An alien.
No,
I'm serious, Sam.
4546B.
Something ain't right.
No.
I'm
I can show you,
serious,
but
man.
can't get
Something
back in
ain't
there.
right.
you can,
I could show you,
but
but
I might know how
can't get
to.
back in there.
Whatever you're
You
thinking,
can.
we never had this
But I might
conversation.
know how to.
Whatever you're thinking, we never had this conversation.
Okay, so just bear in mind there was a graph chat fragment there, just in this little cavey hole thing. Okay, so I thought there was going to be a blueprint here. Leave that beacon there. That's going to come in super useful because there's a cave system there with all sorts of goodies in there for you to explore. But we're not quite ready yet. Not without another tank upgrade.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining. Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Alright. My inventory is getting kind of full as well. Let's have some water, eat that, more water. Alright, let's have a quick dive into here, see what we can find before we have to surface. So salt can be useful, you can cure food with that. Definitely want the mobile vehicle fragment bay so we can build the sea truck. Don't go super crazy on salt, things like silver and that will come in a bit more handy for us at this stage of the game. Oh yeah, these contain gold, so quickly get a scan. No gold. So we can scan these, we can pick up these, root puzzle. They're not going to be useful at this stage of the game. Alright. Your oxygen efficiency isn't
30 seconds of
as
oxygen remaining.
good.
Warning. 30
without the rebreather, so I wouldn't recommend going down there just yet. Where's that silver?
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining. Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Alright, we're gonna go this way. Gonna find a plant right there. It also is possible to find like cave systems like this, and there'll be a host to various creatures. You might find that in a dedicated cave system there's a lot of blind creatures where if they lived in the cave for many generations there was no need for sight, so they just lost it, became redundant. Or you might find that they have like very small eyes that are nearly gone. It would have been nice in these anemones that I talked about earlier to see some symbiosis. You know, you get mutualistic symbiosis in between things like clownfish and anemones here on Earth. There are other types of symbioses as well. I'll cover those in subsequent videos, particularly ones about corals. Right, so we've got a power cell, we've got a wiring kit. Wiring kits are 90% of what silver is used for, so probably just use that more than anything else. Right, copper wire. Definitely want the compass. It's going to be useful for getting around. So what we can do, we can build beacons and then set them in places and use them as waypoints, and then navigate from there. I'm going to build what I can. Titanium ingot, lubricant and computer chip. What I really want is the builder, so we can start building our base. Light stick. Oh, I'll get a light stick. You never know when it might be useful. No, that could be useful as well. Floating air pump. We'll get some pipes. Okie dokie, so all the kind of random bits and bobs that we don't need, just put them in here. Minerals, if you die, which hopefully you're not, you won't lose your minerals if they're in here, so that is where I recommend that you put them. So this thing came in quite handy then. Got some more minerals to stick in there. I will keep the pipe, the penguins can go in there. I will keep the water, the food and the medkit. Alright, let's go back to this site and see what we can find here. Because I believe we are far from done. In fact, I know that we're far from done with this site. So sometimes there's blueprints here. There's not one here at the moment. Sometimes inside those open crates you can get fragments of tools. Clearly not on this occasion. So I actually want to exit. Okay, so we need to build a computer chip for the mobile vehicle bay, and to do that we're going to need some table coral, which won't grow down here. But I do know where it will grow.
Oxygen efficiency
100 meters.
Alright, so we can't stay down here for too long because it's not as efficient without the rebreather. Nasty thing. Crash fishes. If you swim with your sea glider, you should be able to avoid their blasts pretty easily. Oh, new fish. Spinnerfish. This very unique fishy design. I must see if there's anything remotely similar on Earth. I don't think there is, but there could be. You never know. I'd call that a successful run. We got quite a few useful bits from it. Okay, so the useful stuff is down there. The useful stuff actually is over there. So all of our table coral is going to be down here. Want to watch out for those nasty things. It's going to try and bite me when I scan it.
100 meters. Oxygen efficiency 100
Here we go.
meters. Oxygen efficiency.
That sounds like a distress call.
Transmission of unknown origin.
Stress call.
Source of transmission depth calculated at approximately 200 meters. Depth calculated at approximately.
So we're at 120 at the moment, so that is
Warning.
a fair
30
bit
seconds of
deeper.
oxygen remaining. Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining. Oxygen. Oxygen.
It's a fair bit deeper than where we were now. I still need a few more of these coral samples. We'll have the rebreather very soon. Hopefully, he says.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Oh look. Alright. If I use the health thingy. I want whatever is at that platform.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
There's always goodies at these platforms, so if you see one, you want to make sure you can go for it. These always contain important things, blueprints. See, look, laser cutter fragment here.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Warning. 30
See if we can
seconds of
scan
oxygen
anything
remaining.
else. No, we can't, other than a desk, which is cosmetic for a base that we can't build yet.
Oxygen.
Oh,
Oxygen.
no! Okay, I died. Not what you were supposed to do. I got caught on something while I was ascending, so I died and lost some belongings. No worries, I can recover from that. I'm going to make this loading screen disappear because it takes ages. Okay, so I lost my stuff, lost all my table coal, but I kept the knowledge that I required. So I can still build the rebreather. What do I need? Fiber mesh and silicone rubber. If I take that. Get some silver from in here for the wiring kit. Get some titanium too. And what did I need? I need some creep vine. And there's some right here. So you can go up to any old creep vine just out of the store, just slash away, and that'll give us our much needed creep vine samples, which we can use to make fiber mesh. And just like that, we have a rebreather.
The rebreather facilitates extensive free diving by recycling air efficiently at significant depths.
Efficiently at significant depths.
Right. You want to make sure you have some spare batteries, or at least one spare battery, especially when the sea glide gets low. Because when it runs out, it's just a pain. Especially if you run out deep underwater, you might not be able to get back up quick enough. Then you're really gonna be in it. So yeah, have spare battery. So if you hover over it and press square, then you'll get the option to change the battery, like so. Wherefore art thou, table coral? It's not here. It's not that way. Bingo. Alright, make sure we fill up on air. Ooh. Oh, there's a platform over there. We'll go over to that platform soon. Right after I found... Ooh! Look at this. A sea truck fragment. We've got 2 data pads here as well.
Brad, great to see you. Come on in. You don't mind if I record this? Am I in trouble? You don't mind if I... No. You know me. Just a fanatic for details. And my memory's not what it used to be. I know what that's like. Yes. Is that why you've been running so many personal errands for your colleagues? Yes, you live in that. So I am in trouble. That's not how I want you to look at it. Here's what I see. You're a team player. You want to get the job done. You're a guy with a pretty good record there. You want people to like you. Does anyone complain? Fred, the trouble is, not everyone is as reliable as you are. Sometimes people need help being where they need to be, concentrating on their work. All the trips were work-related. It appears you transported tech rather far out from the base. You needed to go deep. She needed a sea truck. Her work is currently on surface installations. She shouldn't be anywhere near the water. No more favors than friends, agreed? Yes, sir. No more favors than friends. I keep telling you. Yes, sir. Call me Manu. Call me Manu.
That was kind of awkward. A bit strange as well, like something untoward is going on. Alright, so that should be more than enough table coral to start making some chips.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining. Warning.
Look,
30
got
seconds of
more
oxygen remaining.
of these things.
New blueprint synthesized. New
Builder
blueprint
fragment.
synthesized.
Okay, so the builder's there. I need to get out of here. Quick.
Oxygen. Oxygen.
Oh, right in the nick of time. Okay, let's go back here. Oh, look at that. I've acquired a load of new blueprints. Come here, food. Yeah, it's a lot easier to catch the fishes with this thing, the sea glide. Yeah, look, they can't outrun you. Alright guys, I'm gonna feed Robin. Make sure she's watered up. I think I'm going to leave it there. We're coming up to 55 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found it informative. I hope you learned something new. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Helps me know what kind of stuff you guys like. Leave a comment down below. Any comments, corrections, suggestions, what you liked, what you didn't like. And subscribe to see more content from me. I'll be doing a new video very early next week, part 2 of Marine Biologist plays Subnautica part below 0, and I'll be doing a base building video next week as well, so you don't want to miss those. Thank you, see you in the next video.